Hello everybody, this is Kay. Welcome to my channel, Junking with Gigi. I have this blank journal that I picked up at a thrift store quite some time ago, many months ago actually. I think I got it for about a quarter or 50 cents, and it had this really nice kind of heavy lined paper in it. And when I picked it up, I thought originally that I would just remove the pages from it and use these papers in other projects, which I have done a little bit of that. I've removed a few of these. But the other day I got the idea to do like an altered journal. Rather than taking it apart and using the parts, maybe just altering this and making it into a unique type of a junk journal. So that's what I think I'm going to do with it. I'm going to redo the cover. I'm really not too crazy about this image that's on the front and back cover, so I'm gonna redecorate the cover, front and back, and then on the pages, some of them I may leave blank for writing, but I'm gonna alter them. I'm gonna make pockets out of some of them. I'm going to add things to it as well. And what I'm going to use for that part is these pieces that I have on here are from a digital kit that I bought on Etsy. And I bought it at, this is the name of the Etsy shop, Love Junk Journals. And if you've heard of Tracy Fox, this is her Etsy shop, Love Junk Journals. The name of the digital kit is Compendium Vivid Florals. And there's actually two parts to it. You purchase them separately. One is the digital journal kit, and the other is floating pockets and add-ons. And I purchased them both, and I've used, let me hold that up for another second. I've used these in some other projects, but this is what I still have left from those kits that I haven't used yet. There's some really nice background papers. I only have 5 of them left here. I've got pockets and just plain journaling cards, tags. These are some cute little mini file folder pieces. I think these things over here, I think these are supposed to be like for hidden paper clips maybe, or something like that. And there's banner pieces for embellishing pages. These are the only thing I'm not real sure what they are. If you know what they are, what their intended use is for in a journal, please leave me a comment about it, because I haven't figured them out exactly what they're supposed to be. So, but you can just use them to decorate the edge of the page. These are the pieces that I'm going to be using to decorate and alter this blank journal. Oh, I've also got a little pile here of just some fussy cuts that I cut out of other things from the same digital kit. So I'm dropping them all over. So let me put everything aside for a minute except for the background papers, because I'm going to pick out a couple of those to use on the front and back cover. So these are the 5 background papers I have, and I'm going to try and figure out what I want to do. They're all so pretty, it's going to be hard to pick any one particular one or part of one to use on the covers. So what I think I'm going to do for the front cover is I'm just going to kind of fussy cut out the flower part of this image on this one background sheet. got a piece of tea-dyed cardstock here, and I'm going to kind of tear this down, and I'm just going to do some layering up with this and my image, and I've also pulled out some pieces of lace and fabric here that I'm going to do some layering up with as well. So let me just start doing some tearing. That torn down, I'm going to take my laces and my fabric now and just do a little bit of layering up to add some texture and fiber to the cover. This is what I've come up with so far for my layout on the front cover. I think I included a little bit of some burlap ribbon with lace on it that I had here. And then I'm going to cut out these two little corner sections of this other background piece, and maybe even this strip over here to kind of collage and cluster on the cover of this journal as well. Kind of made the edges not straight and even. I'm not sure about this piece over here, whether I want to include that or not. Maybe I should move it over here and have it just be kind of peeking out in a few different spots. I think I'm happy with that. So but before I start gluing anything down, I'm going to take my Scorched Timber Distress Oxide and ink around the edges of all these paper pieces. All those pieces are inked up around the edges, and I'm going to just set those aside and work on adhering all of these layers of fabric and lace to the cover. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac glue today, and I'm going to just take the top layer off, trying to kind of keep it sort of how I have it so I don't forget how I have it. Oops. I'm going to start with these two pieces. So I'm just going to get my glue here. I need to refill this. I got to let it run down for a second. Start sticking this on. those all tacked down now, I'm just going to open this up and trim off the excess down here on the bottom. I'm going to put my pieces back on here, and hopefully I can remember how I had them arranged. I don't think I have it like that. I have that. I think I had it sort of like this, but I think I'm going to take this piece off. I might save that for the back cover. It's just not working for me on the front here. So I have these 3 pieces here. And now I'm going to think about gluing those down, but I want to think about if there's anything else I want to do to them before I glue them down. This is one of those little banner pieces, and I think I'm just going to stick it up here on the corner. Maybe not cut it off, because I may just wrap it around the inside of the cover. I want to ink it up real quick. I'm going to do a little bit of embossing on this focal point and on this little butterfly here for the front cover. I'm going to just use some clear embossing powder, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little embossing dauber and just kind of dab it around on these flowers a little bit, just to kind of give it like a little bit of a shine on those. And then I'm going to take my little distress embossing pen and do some outlining on the butterfly. I just really like the way that this clear embossing powder puts a little bit of a shine to an item, and I think that'll look real pretty on the cover of this journal. So let me just dab around. Put my heat gun to it and see how these turn out with that embossing on there. I hope you can see that. I'm kind of trying to tilt it so it kind of shows how that just adds, oops, a little bit of shine. You can see it right there on that flower a little bit, and on that butterfly. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love it. All right, I've got everything laid back on the journal cover the way I wanted, and now I'm just gonna glue all that down. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac again, since I'm gluing this onto lace and fabric. as I was gluing all of this down, I realized that I completely forgot about my piece of tea-dyed cardstock that I had cut out as the background, but I think it's gonna be fine. And this is all glued down and permanent now, so there's no change in that. I can add to the top, but I can't take it off and add to the bottom at this point. But that's okay, because I can use this on the back cover. But anyway, I think that turned out real pretty. I'm gonna leave that there for now because I may end up just folding it over to the inside of the cover. I may end up just cutting it off, but I haven't decided, so I'm gonna leave that alone for now. And I think that turned out real pretty. I just love that embossing. And now I'm gonna flip it over and do something with the back cover. So what I'm gonna do on the back cover is I'm gonna use that piece of cardstock that I forgot about on the front. And then I'm gonna take this other background piece and I'm gonna cut out just this side section, including this strip and these tickets and the butterfly, and use those along the edge of the back, along the spine edge. I typically just keep the backs of them more simple than the front, of course. Sometimes I just even leave them plain on my journals, but in this case I wanted to cover up the image because I don't care for it, so that's what I'm gonna do here. This is a little bit tall, so I'm gonna actually make it a little bit shorter than the cardstock piece. So I'm gonna tear these two edges. I have this nifty little tool. I keep forgetting I have it, but it's a Tim Holtz, I think it's called an edge distressor or something like that. If you look inside these little slots, you can see there's like a little blade type thing in there. And you just use that when you want to kind of distress a smooth edge, which is what I'm going to do here on this piece of card. That all distressed. I'm going to ink and then I'm going to glue these down. And the back cover is done. I went ahead and decided to add just one little layer of lace just to kind of tie the back cover in with the whole paper and lace concept I have going on the front cover. But I still wanted to keep it simpler, simply because it is the back cover. And I know this is a little bit plain over here. I'm not sure what I might end up doing is some stenciling or some stamping. I'm not sure, but it is the back cover, so I just don't feel like it has to be as kind of fancy as the front cover. On the inside of the front cover, I'm going to take this strip of leftover tea-dyed tracing paper that I have and tear it down to the right size for just gluing down inside this cover. And then I'm going to take this leftover piece that I had cut the very front focal point floral arrangement out of, and I'm going to cut it down and trim it to size to make kind of a side pocket here. So let me get my trimmer. First I'm just going to cut it even this way. Stopped for a second to trade out the blade on my trimmer. I think it was getting dull because it's starting to kind of chew up some of my papers. So I'm gonna trim off, let's see. I want this on here with the pocket opening over here. So let me see how that would work as far as the width. I'm gonna take it down a little bit more on this side because I don't want to disrupt that word there, presented, but I don't want it quite this wide. So I'm gonna take off maybe about an inch or so on this side. Trimmed down to the right size. Now I'm just going to take my 2-inch circle punch and just kind of eyeball the middle and punch. Actually, maybe I'll do it a little bit higher up so I don't disturb any of this image. And just make me a little thumb notch there. Okay, I'm going to ink around all of this, and then I think this is going to look, this is that little piece from the front cover. Once I get these glued down, I'm just going to fold that over and glue it right there. I think that'll look real cute. So let me ink this up. As one more little added piece of interest, I decided I'm going to put a little piece of lace here at the top, and then I'll fold this over the lace, and that's going to give that a real sweet look, I think. So I'm going to get my glue stick to glue my piece of tracing paper down, and then I'll probably use the Fabri-Tac on the rest of this. So that's done. We've got a nice little inside the front cover pocket here, and probably what I'll stick in there if I decide to sell this journal is one of my notes that I put in my journals that I sell. It's just called my About This Junk Journal note, and I'll probably just cut one out and stick it in there. That's what I usually do with the ones that I decide to sell, if this is one that I sell and not keep for myself. So I think I'm going to do something similar to this on the inside of the back cover. I think I'll do that off camera for the sake of time, and I'll just come back when I'm finished and show you the cover. I did pretty much the same thing with the inside back cover as I did on the front. Only, of course, with a different piece of that background paper and a different piece of lace, which I had this extra strip left over, and I just kind of wrapped it around to the back cover like so. So, the covers inside and out are done. Front, inside of the front, and the back. I think I'm going to stop this video here and do this project in 2, possibly 3 different videos so that I don't have one super long one. I don't like to make really long videos. So I'm going to stop this one with the decorating of the covers. That took a little while. and continue in part 2 with the embellishments and the altering of the pages. So I thank you for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed watching me decorate this thrift store blank journal that I picked up for 50 cents, I think it was. And I hope you'll come back and watch part 2 when I post that, probably in about a week. Thank you so much again for watching, and God bless.